Welcome to Adaptation, the book to movie podcast. I'm Nate.
And I'm Chris.
And we have a very special guest with us today.
Hey, I'm Jay.
Hey, this Jay.
Hey, this is Jay.
Hi, Jay. Jay, thank you for joining us. How you doing today?
Good, doing great.
Today we're talking about Rebecca, written by...
Hold on. I think rapid fire. Everybody takes a swing at it.
Okay, where will you highlight it so I can read it? Okay. Daphne du Maurier.
Daphne du Maurier.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing
Daphne du Maurier.
Oh, I'm the lamest one.
Wait, is yours the correct one, Jay?
No, not at all. I have no idea.
Oh.
I very intentionally did not look.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to look right now?
Yeah, I'll look. You keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, Rebecca by Daphne something, adapted famously by Alfred Hitchcock and then later Ben Wheatley. But before we dive into that, Chris is going to tell us the pronunciation, I think.
This looks like... I think Jay was the closest, according to the IPA here.
Let's go.
Du Maurier.
Oh, geez.
Oh, I was the
Maurier.
closest.
You were the... Goodness gracious.
Let's go.
I was prepared for a lot of options, but not that one.
Well, eat your heart out.
When is a short O sound? Okay. French names.
Yeah, in France. Jay, what have you been reading and watching lately besides Rebecca?
Yeah, just before Rebecca, I finished a very thrilling nonfiction, The Death of Trotsky, which the plot to assassinate Stalin's greatest enemy. I just got back from Mexico a couple months ago, and I had no idea that Trotsky finished his life in Mexico City and was friends with Diego and Frida. And,
of course.
And then this book came out just shortly after, so it was a pretty fun read.
Wow, that's
sick. Wait, did you go to the house, the plot with the cactus fence?
No, okay. Did not make it all the way down there. But
it's a ways out.
Thought it was very interesting that he ended up in Mexico City, and I feel like I learned so much history while I was down there. I was like, oh, this is also a super interesting part of Mexico City I would love to learn about. So that's what I read most recently. And then I think Devil Wears Prada 2 is the last movie I saw.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a fun one. Aggressively fine, in my opinion.
Incredible.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Incredible description.
I'm just
great
glad
to see
that
my friends, but
yeah, exactly. I'm glad that it wasn't bad. You know, so many of these sequels that are coming 20, 30 years later, like ruin the original almost for me. And this one, yeah, it was like a glass of room temp water. You know,
I mean, it's become like nearly a trope, right? Spider-Man did it. The Matrix did it. Like
what, to reboot years later?
No, just for the second one to be garbage.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember Matrix Reloaded?
I actually, one of my hot takes is I don't even like the first Matrix.
Okay,
so
you're wrong.
Seen more.
Never mind. Cool.
I've fallen asleep every time I've tried to watch that movie.
That's insane. Good for you, dude. What a fun trip.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good time.
Yeah.
Saw the pyramids.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, the famous ancient city of Teotihuacan. Yeah, I saw the pyramids.
Still the pyramids.
They're still there.
Climbed up them.
How about you, buddy? What have you been reading?
I was just telling Nate about my blunder with my book club. We read Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Have you read that yet, Jay?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Nate had suggested the show to me. So we discussed it because I read the book before, probably 2 or 3 episodes ago. And I mistook Nate and I discussing it for book club discussing it. So then when they pitched meeting like 5 days later, I panicked and thought I had not read the book yet, whatever the new book was. So I just scrolled through the Discord, found the most recent book someone pitched, which was The Will of the Many. Something Islington. I'll find it.
James.
Later. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Have you read them?
Yeah. Real good.
Smashed those 640 pages in 4 days.
Yeah.
And then it turned out not to be the book club pick, and I just did that for no reason.
I mean, it is a great book. Like,
Phenomenal
you didn't waste any time reading it.
Not mad at it at all. I genuinely think book 2, what is it? It's like The Voice of the Few or something.
Strength of the Few.
Yeah. I think that might be book 1 for my little road trip endeavor today. because the first
great
one
move.
was phenomenal.
Wow,
Incredible
cool.
writing.
Okay.
Very, very fun, weird. The concept is this universe where the power is held by essentially society's a pyramid scheme. Very Romanesque. They're all wearing togas. They have a senate, but you cede your will to those higher above. So the higher up you get, the more of the plebes you have ceding their will to you, and it just makes you like super powerful and more focused and better. It's
Okay.
very
That
good.
sounds like the real world right now.
Well,
I'm just saying.
well,
It's
not wrong.
turning subtext to text a little bit.
Yeah.
is
I
what-
would be surprised if we don't have an adaptation of that in the coming years.
Yeah.
I think that would make a phenomenal,
That'd be cool.
maybe not a movie, but a show for sure.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been reading.
Cool. Let's see. Let me look. I'm a little behind on watches because I was out of town and then visually impaired. But so,
We gonna dig into that, or
no, not here.
okay.
I saw the movie Is God Is. Have you guys heard of this? It was based on a play by Alicia Harris. Really interesting, like revenge story. If you get a chance to see it, I think it's one of the best movies I've seen this year.
Wow.
And then just the other day, I saw this new horror movie, Obsession, that everybody's talking about. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I actually didn't like it that much. I didn't think it was that good, but I'm in the vast, vast minority. So I don't mean to not endorse it.
The trailers look sick.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with the writing. I don't really want to poop on something everybody's excited about here on the pod, but not my fave. But yeah, and we were going to go see The Mandalorian last night, but we had more fun offer come up. So we skipped it.
And based on what I've read about the movie, it's probably okay.
I'm not that sad. Yeah.
I've heard that too.
It's going to be an awesome watch on Disney Plus one day.
What I keep hearing is that it looks like a Disney Plus movie. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but let's talk about Rebecca.
Yes.
We're doing this one because Jay suggested it, actually, which is also obviously why we asked Jay to come on and talk about it. But tell us a little bit about how this text came into your life and what about it like sparked your interest.
Yeah, the funny thing is I was trying to remember it's that classic Goodreads thing where something shows up on your list and then you read it and you have no memory of who recommended it.
Yes.
So I have no idea where this started from. I was very just intrigued by, there's one edition that's like, oh, it's the greatest novel of the century. And I was like, well, I feel like I got to read. I got to see what this is about.
Yeah.
And it is not up my alley really at all. Like I in high school read Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, The Awakening. Like I like this kind of genre. I don't love a lot of Gothic fiction. And I read Rebecca and I gasped out loud like 4 or 5 times as I was reading it.
Wow.
It completely blew me away. And I wasn't even suggesting it for like the pod because I didn't know really about the adaptations either.
Sure.
It was just one I read and I immediately was like, Chris needs to read this. I think he is going to love this. So that's where like that initial text went out. I was just like, this book, it feels so fresh. It feels like you get 70 years of kind of human history, like not to improve, but like from where Jane Eyre was, from where Wuthering Heights was, it just feels very 20th century, but still taking a lot of those themes that were present in kind of some of the other Gothic literature. I just was completely gobsmacked by it when I read it the first time.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is that sort of, without giving away too much, is that sort of how you felt as well?
So it's interesting. First of all, right off the bat, throwing the script out the window, Jay has already answered one of the questions I slotted in. So do you guys mind entirely unorthodoxly, based only on unorthodox?
Good enough.
We're just going to start with one of our discussion questions, which we never do, because that is exactly what I was thinking. So Jay texted me.
Okay.
Same. I had no idea there was a film adaptation, but I looked it up immediately and I was like, wait, there are films of this. So I immediately texted Nate, was like, let's get Jay on the pod. This will be fun. My not very first, I think it was actually, I know exactly where it is. Chapters 4 and 5, when it is revealed that the first Mrs. De Winter has passed away in a grisly way, and you're getting the Gothic vibes. I was like, Jay Weiler suggested this? Because you
Yeah.
are historically not a spoopy fellow.
Mhm.
Spoopy.
Yeah, there's literally one scene, I don't even remember what happens, but when I was reading Jane Eyre in high school, there's one scene where I was like scared because I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I think, well, the other funny thing is I thought this was actually going to be a literal ghost story when I picked it up, just because of
Oh.
how it is talked about.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that like Rebecca's ghost was actually going to be present in the house very specifically and literally.
One may argue she was, but okay, continue.
For sure, for sure. I have a hot take on that later if we get into
Ooh.
that. And so I literally read it the first time thinking this is a real ghost story. And so it was very interesting to have it kind of doled out that 1st
Mhm.
read that it's not a literal ghost story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I think my expectations of being very scared were high, and then there was no actual ghost. So I was able to kind of get through. But yeah, I agree with you, Chris.
I just immediately was like, because Jay famously is not a fan of that
Okay. Genre.
area. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, how is this? Like, from Tucker would have made 15 times more sense to me as a rec.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm glad that you got into that.
So before we dive in, I just
Yes.
want to give a really quick rundown for those that have not read or seen it.
Good idea. Yes.
Great idea.
Because we,
idea.
because we
Yep.
kind of just talked about the
Sorry.
plot.
Yeah.
The movie follows a woman who I believe is unnamed. She is in the movies. Does she have a name? The new Miss De Winter?
No, she does not have a name, famously.
Right. Okay, cool.
Some fun facts about that. She writes in her original author's note that she didn't give the protagonist a name because she couldn't think of one. So she
love
just
that.
started writing
That
the
fucking
book
rocks.
with no name. And then as she got writing in, she's like, well, now this is just a technique challenge for me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
And so she wrote the whole book with no name.
That is cool. Oh, wow. I was feeling like I was just blanking on it. How did I not notice that?
Well, I didn't either. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yep.
But anyway, the story follows this unnamed woman who basically is on vacation, falls in love, marries a guy, and moves in with the guy, and everything, how would you say it, like, is very influenced by this guy's first wife who has died,
Yes.
who is the titular Rebecca, and how she haunts, proverbially,
Yes.
this new wife's life.
Now, point of order, she was not on vacation in Monte Carlo, but they douche-tastically refer to it as Monty
Oh yeah.
often.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Amazing.
Which, goodness, you can feel that scene. This wealthy dowager from New York going, oh, Monty is so boring this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
So she's working. She is a professional companion with Von
Hopper, or
Hopper.
something like
Yeah,
that.
with Von Hopper, who's like the socialite
An aristocrat.
piranha,
Yeah.
chasing down Mr. De Winter, and then she flirts with him, and they get married instead. Which is that's not to be rude to your synopsis. I think that is critical in the storyline that she's there for that time's social norms reasons.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. She was working for someone that was on vacation.
She's a working girl.
Yeah. With that, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, good synopsis. I'm glad that you started with that. So published in 1938, has never gone out of print, which is astronomical. So the edition that I marked on Goodreads came out in 2013. And so I spent the entire read thinking this was written,
I see,
a couple years ago,
16 years ago. And I was like, wow, this lady did her research.
Yeah.
Entirely incorrect. Entirely incorrect. Written in 38. We have a bad streak that we need to break. This is another Gothic.
I was thinking about this. Yep.
Another Brit.
Yeah.
Our next one's American.
Finally, some good American.
Well, and I know.
made
And like, I thought she was French. Like, what is this? What do you mean you're British? What do you mean?
Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And once I found out she was British, I thought, okay, this is a pen name. Nope. Family name.
Oh,
Do Maurier. Moy.
Maurier.
Moya.
I should have kept it up. That's canon now. Each time she comes up, we all have to try to pronounce it again.
Okay.
Both her parents were. Her mom was an actress. Her dad was a actor and manager. I believe her grandfather was as well. This is just a classic nepo baby in the world of entertainment who wrote a phenomenal novel.
And I can see that because it's so sort of melodramatic and soapy. Yep. I can totally see her being the child of performers.
This would have been like 7 or 8 phenomenal seasons of Passions in like 1995.
Yeah.
The best soap ever. They had a witch named Tabitha. She had a speaking ventriloquist dummy. That was peak.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
All right, I put in my notes, be freaking Brie. First and foremost, I want your thoughts. The first, I'm going to guess 12. Well, when do they leave Monte Carlo in the movie?
Very early.
Okay. So Jay, for you, like chapters 1 through 3, what is your vibe of her emotional, psychological state?
I think she is like desperate to be working any other job. I think that she hates her life. You know, she has no family. These are her only prospects. It just feels like she is desperate to be anywhere else in the world, is the vibe I get.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Nate?
Yeah. Yeah. She's focused on working. Yeah. She's not there. I think that's why it's important that you made that distinction. She's not in Monte Carlo to enjoy herself. No. She's there so Miss Von Hopper can enjoy herself.
Honestly. And what a yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. Exact same vibe. She's like clearly, not even clearly unhappy necessarily. It's that weird unhappy of like I want to do a good job. And Von Hopper is such a jerk.
It's like complacency almost.
Yeah. But to me, there's an evident drive there that I think is what makes the turn so good 24 chapters later, right? Yeah. That was all to set up what is undoubtedly no longer a fun aside. She's sitting there. Von Hopper is obviously just a jerk. Starts chatting with Mr. De Winter, gets upbraided for talking too much in that first meeting in which she didn't speak at all. And then Von Hopper's sick. She's having lunch with De Winter alone and like cannot tell if he's stoked to see her, if she's just amusement, a better use of his time than sitting alone, essentially. And she tries to ask what he's thinking about. And he says, I'm thinking about who's going to be bowling for Surrey today against Middlesex. And it wasn't against Middlesex. I think it was against Hertfordshire. But as I got to that part of the audiobook, I was watching Surrey cricket.
Oh, that's very funny.
And I literally laughed out loud, and I was like, this is not something anyone should be laughing out loud at. But it felt crazy to have that connection to the book 100 years on. Okay, the actual book, not cricket. We have this weird juxtaposition of a clearly deeply unpleasant Mr. De Winter. We all okay.
Yep. Maxim.
This feels like a crass description, so I would appreciate assistance. This offer of marriage 3 weeks on, he just seems so unhappy and so unpleasant. It obviously later is more revealed, but I think part of the brilliance of the writing of this book is the agonizingly slow pace. And I don't know how they translated that to screen.
Similarly, yeah, okay. It's a very slow burn, I would say.
I mean, the passage of time is like more or less its own character in the exposition of this story. So he's clearly deeply unhappy, and then suddenly offers to marry this gal. You know, they're going for their little afternoon drives, which I think.
And there's some hilarious language in the proposal.
Yes.
He calls her a little fool. He says you are almost as ignorant as Mrs. Van Hopper and just as unintelligent. He says, at the moment, I don't think you realize anything at all. Which is just, that's one where you read and you're like, did this read differently in 1936 compared to 2026? Because I don't know, like, I have to assume it reads like he was being a jerk then as well. But
You
I,
gotta
I was
mention.
trying to translate that a little bit. It is the most unromantic proposal
Yeah.
Yes.
in history.
I think the key factor in that question is like remembering that this was written by a woman as well. So there probably was a lot of, he might be a representation, honestly, of like how
Yeah.
fucked up women had it,
Yeah.
Honestly.
right? Like, because he doesn't really give much of a shit about her through
Ever. Well, not ever. For a
Okay,
long time.
For a long time. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so yes. So I also have 2 quotes from that exact scene. I mean, the writing is objectively good.
Cool.
Yeah.
It keeps you engaged in what should be dry and moving too slowly, which is why I say I think that part was deliberate as well. So when she finally says, "I love you," he does not say it back. And instead of being like, "Yo, what the fuck? You just proposed to me," she like rationalizes and tries to logic her way through it and decides this is not him being the jerk that he is absolutely being. She decides that this is an original response on his part. And he just doesn't want it to be some like cliche or sappy
God.
proposal,
Yeah.
right? No, you're just picturing this poor girl and you're like,
Yeah, God.
nah,
Fuck.
this guy ain't it, right? There's a scene, I loved this line, when they're going for these little drives and there's a clock in the dashboard of the car, which rocks.
Yeah.
I suppose they all have them, but for 1938, that felt surprising to me.
That was, I mean, I think that was a money thing
Yeah,
back then.
Yeah. And she says she's happy for his silence, yet eager for his words. My only enemy was the clock.
Oh, because one was going to run out.
Uh-huh. And you're like, this guy doesn't give 2 shits about you, and you are savoring every minute of these little afternoon drives. Oh, I mean, once again, for like the 1,000th time, if this were not for the pod, I don't know that I would have fought through the beginning, which objectively would have been wrong on my part. But yeah, just deeply unhappy dude. Suddenly, hey, I'm going to propose again, considering the social norms of the time, which comes up often throughout this.
Mm-hmm.
This is an era of chaperones for young people's dates, of extraordinary courtship and even engagement expectations. And suddenly these two are just like, yeah, sure, 47-year-old dude, let's go.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she bought a postcard of his estate previous to knowing him.
Yep. Now, in her defense, she had no idea what Manderley was.
Yes.
Because she bought the postcard and she was like, she had to ask the person at the shop what it was. So, I think there is an interpretation that she was like headhunting him, but it does strike me that it was completely accidental.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is firmly firmly is far too strong a word. This is a genuine meet cute. She's not gold digging.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Right.
And she has almost no agency like during any of these scenes. She's like, and then honestly, throughout the whole book, like she is going along with the waves the whole book.
Just
No
being
pun intended.
buffeted and Don't get ahead of us.
I don't mean to interject, but I'm very curious how the Hitchcock movie treated that. Like, how did the movie treat their like romance when they were in Monty?
In Monty, yeah. I actually think it's kind of one of the flaws of the movie is that, especially watching it all these years later, the movie came out in 1940.
Immediately after the book.
You really feel how deeply inappropriate the relationship was because they just met. They were sneaking around while in Monte Carlo.
He's twice her age.
Yep. He's a total dick to her. And actually they met. I don't know if this is how they meet in the book, but she stops him from like jumping off a cliff in the movie.
Oh, that's different. That's an addition.
Yeah.
And he's really rude to her and like tells her to get lost. So when they run into each other again and he's kind of nice and like wants to spend time with her, she's like, what is going on here? So it's really bizarre, to answer your question. And I think, unfortunately, I mean, the movie is known as a masterpiece. So I don't mean to say that like somebody else could have done it better. But I do think that, especially in modernity, that's a flaw of the movies, how it handled the romance. You're just like, I don't understand any of this.
That is
Now, I will
curious.
say in the Netflix version, they have like a torrid love affair. Like they are
Oh,
sleeping up together on the beach. They are like making out in like they injected a lot more passion.
okay.
Also, I think the two actors are a little closer in age. Like the age difference
Yeah.
doesn't really show up in the Netflix
Okay.
version. And yeah, it was it makes more sense of why they're together when you watch the Netflix version, but it also kind of ruins a lot of the themes
Yeah.
that like are kind of implicit in the story.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's because it makes a lot more sense that they are together, that they
Romantically,
love
yeah.
each other. Yeah, in the Netflix version. So
Okay.
I thought that was a very
Interesting.
interesting change
Yeah.
That
in the
sucks.
Netflix. I agree. I tend to agree a lot.
Yeah.
That's a horrible. Okay. That sucks. That's entirely incorrect. That they.
Yeah,
The
the
Netflix
movie
thing.
missed
Yeah.
a lot of themes in general, but yeah, that's kind of the first one where you're kind of like, oh, that's a very interesting change, and it does make it more palatable to a modern audience.
Fair.
But
Yes.
but at what cost of the
Right.
rest of the story?
Right.
Yeah.
The story. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would have. I'll be totally honest. I would have been happy if the first 4 chapters moved a bit quicker. But also, I see
Mhm.
why. Like
Yeah.
it made sense. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, the social customs are once again nearly an additional character here. They're coming back to the estate. He's been gone for so long. It's finally revealed that the first Mrs. De Winter died in the bay.
Yeah. Drowned or
Mhm.
went missing. Right? Did she go missing in the
I don't
book?
remember. Danvers is describing it to. I think she full on tells her that she drowned in the bay.
Okay.
But all of the tension is nearly entirely due to his wife passes away. 10 months later, he comes back from this essentially bereavement
Yeah.
with this new and younger addition, just playing his best DiCaprio here.
He is.
And everybody's got their feelings about it, and you don't know why. You don't know why everyone's being weird. Why is
Mhm.
Frank answering her questions in this way? And I loved this choice. Big fan of a non-omniscient narrator.
Yes.
Okay.
Completely agree.
We are learning all of these things as she
As
does,
she is. Cool.
and learning them incorrectly in some cases as she does,
Yeah.
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
only her interpretation, right?
Yeah, she brings a lot of assumptions into her new living situation.
Yes, typically to her detriment, but also that
Almost
makes
always.
her infinitely more relatable.
Yeah.
Not stream of consciousness, but her inner monologue makes this such a raw and intimately relatable tale from a circumstance that none of us should relate to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, completely agree.
Again, social customs in mind. Jay, wonderful work. You've led straight into the next point that I wrote. The power here comes from this outlandish situation none of us could imagine living. You meet some dude in Monte Carlo, get married 3 weeks later, again, keeping these fairly rigid, what would this be, Victorian social norms?
Well, we'd be like post World War
38.
One, so like there is some opening stuff here happening. We're not quite Victorian, but
Some.
we're
Yeah,
still in England, and like he clearly has customs that have been passed down through the
which are
centuries.
expected, yes, as the landed
Yep.
elite, right? What do we got?
Set in the late 20s or 30s.
Yeah, which is never. I don't think a year is ever given explicitly
Yeah.
in the
No,
story.
not specifically.
So yes, rigid social structure, certainly expectations, if nothing else. And then we have this unraveling of absolutely raw, intimate, horrific interpersonal happenings. Right? Her talking to Frank, her meeting Danvers. I mean,
The staff of the house.
you
Yeah.
you hate. Oh yeah, sorry.
The estate, I guess.
I don't know why I apologize to you. Sorry, dear listener. The staff of the estate.
Yep.
You just hate Danvers. from the
Can I
get-go.
read? Can I read how Danvers is introduced?
Yes, please.
Someone advanced from the sea of faces, someone tall and gaunt, dressed in deep black, whose prominent cheekbones and great hollow eyes gave her a skull's
I just got
face,
chills.
parchment white, set on a skeleton's frame. When she took my hand, hers was limp and heavy, deathly cold, and it lay in mine like a lifeless thing.
Jesus Christ.
And
Yes.
every time, yeah, and every single time that they are having a conversation throughout the book, she calls Danvers, or she says Danvers has a skull face or a white skull face.
So she's just meeting 2026 Celine Dion. That's what.
Why you keep ripping on her this weekend?
She looks like Skeletor.
No, she
I stand by
doesn't.
that.
That's the
That's
second
what
or
I-
third time Celine Dion's come up in the last couple of days.
That's who I pictured.
That's-
In reading that description, I pictured Celine Dion in a neck-high black gown.
I'll reserve judgment until I research this later.
I don't reserve anything.
It requires 2 Google images to certify my statement. Yeah, you get this horrific, and that's when these details are being given to her slowly and through the lens of each of these characters' personal relationships with the former Mrs. De Winter, not to get ahead of ourselves. All I could think, I think it was around chapter 10, I just wrote a note to myself that said, 2 tortured people.
Mhm.
You're just sitting in it and being miserable with them, right?
Yeah.
But this is what I think made it powerful. You have the dark realities of each of our daily internal feelings, second guessing ourselves, negative self-talk, things that are everyone has experienced this. So heartbreaking when you voice it, right? And it requires a vulnerability that is all too rare to go to a dear friend, a family member, and voice, this thing you've been saying to yourself every day, as this character is. And it's heartbreaking, when you find out your friend thinks they're overweight, thinks no one likes them, whatever. Insert any of this plethora available to all of us and happening to all of us daily. And then this was like, that's the knife going in, right? And then the twisting of the knife is when she goes to finally maybe voice some of these thoughts, finally ask some questions, finally get some details about this new ridiculous life. And some of them are genuinely quite close to reality. Someone goes, this is not from the story, but a exaggerated example. Someone goes, oh yeah, I had a weird time at the party. I feel like no one there likes me. And we all, there's a little bit, not fishing necessarily, but you voice it and you're waiting for someone to go, no, you're good, dude.
Right.
And someone's like, yeah, you were a little
And
weird.
In comes Danvers. Right?
Yeah.
Says,
And
yeah,
she's
nobody
like,
likes you.
You're correct. Yes, we don't want you here.
Well, and not just that. She goes, nobody liked you. Oh, and by the way, everybody loved Rebecca.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Danvers is like the head maid, or I don't really know what the position is called, but she's sort of like the number one person that our protagonist is interacting with.
Yes.
Throughout this story, because her husband is gone a lot.
Yep.
And
Which
Danvers
sucks.
is really kind of the tether to this reality, and that's super unfortunate.
It's horrible.
Psychologically speaking, for our protagonist.
It's horrible. I want to give another example of this. So she meets Frank, Max's
like
attorney
manager.
He they always talk about this office. I don't know that they ever said it more detail. I think they literally say manager, and I'm like, of what?
Yeah.
So she meets Frank, who obviously we find out much more later why his feelings about the late Mrs. De Winter are. Rebecca. I should just call her Rebecca. That's the name of the fucking book. So he's describing Rebecca, again, through what we find out later. She was essentially trying to seduce him for fun to hurt his friend Max. Absolute messy behavior. And he essentially says, forget the past, giving no thought to the reality of her lived experience. That is, no, this is my house now. This is my husband now. Forget how, right? And I genuinely shed a tear at this one. So they've got Jasper, this dog, rolling around the house, right? I'm just picturing Penny the whole time. There's this old decrepit dog.
Hey.
God, I went back like 7 times to make sure I wrote this quote down correctly. He, the nameless protagonist, referring to Frank, after he tells her to just forget the past, he did not notice every day as I did the blind gaze of the old dog in its basket in the library, who lifted its head up when it heard my footstep, the footstep of a woman, and sniffing the air, drooped its head down again because I was not the one she sought.
Damn.
Yep.
Even the dog?
Oh,
I'd be packing up.
Only one in a room. You walk in. Oh, at least the dog's excited to see me. 2 sniffs. Oh, no, you're not her. Head back down.
I hate to admit it, but that is exactly a thing my dog would do.
Yeah, but Penny would do it deliberately and maliciously.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Penny wants to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, that blows. You have no family, you have no other connections. You finally think you've met this love of your life, even though he won't say I love you as he proposes.
Oh, yeah.
Ignoring that. Go to this insane estate that everybody knows, that everybody reveres, and even the fucking dog's disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some weird notes, obviously, on the chaos after that. Why is Danvers still dusting Rebecca's rooms daily?
Because she loved her.
This broad's been gone 10 months. That's creepy and weird.
Because Danvers is so sane? I mean, what?
No, I literally just wrote insanity. Yeah. She meets the sister, B, and Maxim's sister. Sorry, thank you. And she's like, the obligatory, oh, yes, let's have tea. And I loved this. She thinks to herself, perhaps I can have influenza then.
Oh, God.
Who hasn't done that? Who has not done that?
Honestly, yeah.
Oh, boy. Maybe I can be sick that weekend.
I don't know. My throat's already feeling a little scratchy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
When is it? Oh, 6 months? No, it's going to be scratchy then too.
Yeah.
Loved it. But how unhappy do you have to be for that to be your first thought, right?
Yeah.
Very well portrayed. How deep do we want to dive into the meeting the grandma scene?
Grandma?
Yeah, Max's grandma.
That's not a thing in the movie. I don't know about the 2020 version, but it's not in the 19.
So the grandma in the Netflix version is just along when B comes. So it's kind of combining the 2 scenes. So she's meeting both Beatrice and the grandma at the same time. So basically what happens is the grandma, like, I think it's implied she has dementia or something like that. She just, So she just basically screams out, like, where is Rebecca? I want Rebecca. What have you done with Rebecca?
Okay, so it's just like, another example of somebody not
and you can see it coming.
Okay.
Now, for me, I did this. And this did happen. Because you can see it coming from the onset of the scene.
Yeah.
So an individual that shall not be named came to Minnesota with me for the first time. Met Grandma Louise, is 94. Is not all there.
Oh, whoops.
Just called her my ex-wife's name.
Yep.
It was the exact same scene. And honestly, reading this felt as palpable as being there in that room. Because you can see it coming 1 bajillion miles away.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to go meet Grandma. We have to. They walk in. It's weird. And it's just, you're waiting, right? You're like, she's going to call her Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. She's going to do it. Oh, my gosh. What a painful, horrific thing.
Yeah.
Okay. This is totally an aside. When they finally have all of the friends over, and then the next morning she goes, I wondered if this is the same in every home, the exuberance of visitors leaving.
Oh my God. Everything's so bad.
I am so stoked they are gone.
So funny.
So what bugged me, and I really wanted your thoughts on this. the weird scene where Danvers clearly, again, deliberately and maliciously suggests she dress as the late Mrs. De Winter for the party. That had to be in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can see both sides. I think his response, maybe for the first and only time in this entire book, is justifiable.
Ooh.
Honestly, the only person, because Danvers was just acting in character as well, suggesting
Right.
that she dress as his dead wife for a party.
Yeah.
I hold her culpable. Our nameless protagonist. How did you look at that and not think there's a connection here? Maybe I should look into this further. Why would that
Interesting.
portrait be there? Do you
Nate,
know what I
I'll
mean?
let you take that first.
Okay.
Why don't you take that from the movie? That's interesting.
My impression from the movie was there's this huge portrait of a woman
Mm-hmm.
wearing a very elaborate ball gown and like a Kentucky Derby type hat.
Mm-hmm.
And Danvers says you should get that dress made and wear it to the Halloween party
Yep.
that they're throwing at Manderley.
Wait, is it a Halloween party in the movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's a costume party, so
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
when it
Yeah.
is,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
because everybody is showing up in kind of stranger costumes as well.
My understanding was that the portrait was not necessarily Rebecca, but it was I think it's up with a bunch of portraits of his ancestors.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I think it's a
it could
great
have been
aunt or something.
anybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Her name is Carolyn, so it's Carolyn De Winter.
Okay, so it is a De Winter, but
Yeah,
not Rebecca.
it's a. Mhm.
So I disagree with you because it's like our nameless protagonist did not know that Rebecca had also worn a dress like that to a party.
Okay, hold on. So you're rocking my world. So I misunderstood it. This was not a portrait of Rebecca herself.
Correct.
Rebecca also mimicked that. Oh, okay.
Correct.
No. That's way better.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's his great aunt or who it is, but it's Carolyn De Winter, and Danvers is really, in the book, is really sneaky about it. She's like, why don't you take a look at the galleries? I've always been really partial to that. I think it's white in the book, the white dress. The Netflix version changes it to red for some reason, which is just like,
okay,
for what reason? Anyway,
well, so heavy-handed, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, and one of the interesting things too is that this is one of the only times in the book that she's called, like, I got a little confused again because she wants to be introduced as Caroline De Winter. So it's another kind of moment that she's kind of called a different name, and we still don't know her real name. It's a very
cool,
interesting,
actually. Yeah,
it's a very interesting theme. So yeah, it was not a portrait of Rebecca, which would definitely change. That would be crazy if she.
No, that's what I thought it was the whole time. I thought it was a portrait of Rebecca, and I'm like, you dolt! What are you? He's going to respond poorly. Yeah. Hey, dude, saw a picture of your dead wife. Thought you'd love me dressing.
How do I look? Yeah.
Ask the drummer to stop and give her an entrance first. They're gonna love it. Okay, I feel so much better knowing that.
All right. So you started going, she's culpable. I was like,
no, because
I think you and I have to have a talk about morals after this.
Anyway, guys, she did everything wrong. Weird moral to the story. So that seems obviously crazy. And immediately, for the first time in the book, when I actually want some space to breathe, same night of the ball, they find the sunk ship. So, well, no, not skipping ahead. That's incredibly important. So this is when it is. Oh gosh, what's the best order to describe this?
What are you talking?
Like what happened? You're asking like what happens next?
So find ship. So first of all, Max does not come to bed. She goes into this party dressed just like his dead wife was, and he's reasonably furious. All the partygoers leave. She can't find him. He does not come to bed. He disappears for the night. Next morning, a ship is beached, I guess, in the bay.
Scuttled.
They went for the wrong bay. This one's too shallow. The tugboats are out there to get it. Divers are going down trying to see if they can get it loose, and they find Rebecca's boat, which she was supposed to have been thrown from and killed. And Max identifies the body at the morgue. And this diver's like, yo, guys, I looked in the window. There's a body in the boat. Magnificent, because it is not clear at all I'm curious how that could possibly transfer to film. Because at least, well, I guess, I don't know. I would love your opinion on it, Jay. To me, not clear at all.
Mhm.
You're like, who's the body in the boat? There's another person. We already found
Yeah, the
Rebecca's
first time
body.
I
Whose
read
is
it,
this?
yeah, this is where like I started in my first read. I loved the twists and turns of this because
Yes.
I was not guessing any of the next steps. It was
Yes.
just like, oh my God, who's this body?
Yeah. Yeah.
From there, like I think it is so masterfully done
Yeah.
during this scene.
Is it immediately clear in the film that it's Rebecca, or is some of that mystery maintained?
No, there's definitely like a WTF element because I think in the movie he mentions that he buried a body.
Yes, he went. He
And so you're like, well,
famously,
what is going on here? But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting structure for a story because of that slow burn beginning. It all leads up to one night, and this night could not have played out the way it did without that slow burn beforehand. So you everything happens, the night of the party,
right then and there.
I guess maybe over the next 24
Yeah,
hours.
the morning after. Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally thrown for a loop.
Still not certain.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess they did say, 10 months bottom of a bay. I think they did specify it's essentially a skeleton at this point. And
Or unidentifiable.
Yeah. I think they like identified it by the rings on her hands or something.
Okay, that
is what they talked about.
Yeah.
Her engagement ring, her wedding ring is still on. One fun thing, did you look up the name of the boat and what it means in French?
No.
So the name of her boat is Je reviens. I don't know how to say it in French, obviously. That translates to I'm coming back.
Fuck's sake, bud. Oh, I got chills.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Woo! So you have a night where like her dress shows up, like basically possessing our protagonist, and then her boat resurfaces in the same night, and that's the name of her boat. I'm coming back.
Oh,
cool.
That
how
rocks.
Cool is that? Yeah.
Oh, so spoopy. So this is we need to coin a term for this. I'm sure someone already has. Every book to me, there's a point where like, oh no, I need to read this till the end. Yeah. Right? This tipping off point. Oh, okay. And that was undoubtedly this scene. Sure. Where like could not put it down from that point, have to get all the way to the ending now.
That's called the climax.
Yeah.
No, but I want a different name for it. For
so I don't know if you've read any Brandon Sanderson books yet, obviously. But his term is the Sanderlanche, where just like the climax is just like the last third of the book. I don't think he calls it that, but his fans do.
That sounds
where
like
it is just going to be constant, the Sanderlanche. You can just take a course of antibiotics; they'll clear right up. So
24 hours.
24 hours, you're good to go.
Yes. Okay, that's exactly it. That's what I'm talking about. And this is undeniably that point for this book. This was the part I feel moderately hazy on. This is where she finally goes to him and he says like, yo, big dog, I murdered her.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm skipping stuff, but I don't.
No, but I think to get too bogged down in these details would probably be a little bit too much, because it is a lot of like twists and turns.
A lot from here.
And I do think we should, I know we said let's not care about spoilers, but we can leave some of this stuff to the imagination. Okay. I think the important thing is that he killed her. He sunk the boat and he couldn't get it further out. So it's just like right in the shallows.
It's right there. They found a body.
Yeah. And I think the motivation for the murder is the most interesting part of this.
100%. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. This is when he finally says, I love you. Yep. After revealing, no, I killed her. And there's going to be an inquest now. And as the reader, you are super stoked. This is the definition of a moral quandary. The happiest I was in the reading up to this point was when we find out dude murdered somebody. Obviously. For...
Because you endorse murdering people?
Exactly. That's the problem. That's the problem you have, right?
If they're mean to you.
Here's the problem. Yes, we're given, her 13 reasons why he hates her.
Weird poll.
Well, because they think that
just saying.
The final determination is that she killed herself. Come on. I thought I thought that was medium clever.
No, very good. It just was so unexpected. It
I
also
had
did
to-
not feel intentional, so I think that's where we were coming from. It's like,
Yeah.
did you do that on purpose,
Right.
or
Yeah, no, I stuttered. First and foremost, in my mind, I was halfway between 1001 and 13.
Oh,
Second of all, I haven't watched it, so I had to stop and remember if 13 Reasons Why was the suicide one.
yes, it is.
Yeah, because I stand by what I said. That was a good one.
Okay.
This is where we get an immediate illustration of the proverb, one man's story seems right until another comes forward. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now suddenly everybody has their opinion on it. The papers, the neighbors, her weird kissing cousin.
More than kissing.
And underneath all of this, you are finally relieved. They are finally happy for the first time. That's nuts. That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My husband murdered his wife. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's been so much tension
Yes.
hanging over everything that it's like popping a big
Yep.
zit,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she said more than once, this relief for her on her end was, oh, he didn't love her.
Yeah.
Because she's feeling, inadequate compared this whole time. And she is just so stoked. Oh, no, she was a jerk to him. He didn't love her. This is fantastic news. Amidst my husband killed his wife.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. I think that's actually, well, what did I say? The phenomenon of feeling so relieved that he did not love Rebecca and she was a bad person and he murdered her. And as the reader, you were just cheering in the bleachers observing this. That was the last note that I had because the ending is crazy. And I agree. We could leave a little.
Yeah, we'll leave a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's the book.
That's the book. Let's talk a little bit about the movies. There's two major movies. One that I watched, and it sounds like Jay watched. Did you only watch the 2021?
Yeah, I only watched the Netflix adaptation.
And we'll talk a little bit about why the 1941 is so hard to track down. But
do you just want this over there?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Released in 1940, the credit for writing is a little bit strange. The screenplay is officially credited to Robert E. Sherwood and Joan Harrison, who is the first woman to be nominated at the Oscars for Best Screenplay.
Oh, cool.
Sick.
But there's two other guys, Michael Hogan and Philip McDonald, that are credited with the adaptation. I've never seen that credit before, so I don't know
interesting
what that means. It sounds like there was a lot of the script was really hard to nail down, which I'll get to more later. So I'm guessing that it was kind of just like a whatever version of the Writers Guild they had at the time, kind of making sure everybody had credit.
So do I understand you correctly? They're credited just for adapting, but someone else wrote the screenplay.
Yeah, based on these credits. But there's a lot of confusion around who wrote what and like how much of their words are in the screenplay because it was written and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten because the director Alfred Hitchcock, one of the greatest directors to ever live, was really butting heads with the studio that was financing the movie. He wanted to make a lot of changes, Hitchcock did, and the studio wanted like fidelity to the book. So it was just a really sticky situation. Like I said, Hitchcock was the director. He's known as one of the greatest directors ever. He's mostly now we sort of look back at him as a king of horror because he also did like Psycho and The Birds. And this is, I think, kind of a horror story.
A lot of horrific things.
Certainly Gothic. But really his whole career is about tension. There's a lot of plot twists in his movies, suspense, like thrilling stories. I'm sure you've heard the term Hitchcock blonde because a lot of his stories center around women, and he really had a thing for blondes. So, so our main character that doesn't have a name is sort of a classic Hitchcock blonde, like a stunningly beautiful woman that has blonde hair. Starred Laurence Olivier, who we talked a little bit about in Wuthering Heights, one of the most legendary actors of all time. Joan Fontaine played Woman Without a Name, and Judith Anderson played Miss Danvers. All three ended up with Oscar nominations. Pretty cool. Hitchcock he read the book while he was making his previous film, which was called Jamaica Inn.
Oh, that was her first novel.
Yeah, also a de Maurier adaptation. And he tried to purchase the rights to that book, but could not afford them on his own. So David O. Selznick, who was the owner of Selznick International, which was a huge movie studio, scooped up the rights and then gave Hitchcock the directing gig. And like I said, it was there was a lot of headbutting between the two of them for a lot of reasons, partially because Hitchcock wanted to make all these changes. This is a sort of strange film in Hitchcock's filmography because nothing happens sort of until the end. That's not usually I mean, if you've seen The Birds, like the birds are mad the whole time. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it's almost like anti-Hitchcockian or like diet Hitchcockian, except that you're so freaking walloped by the end of the story that you're like, there it is. That's what he was into this story for. Some of the rewriting they had to do as well. I was really curious about this. They had to tone down some of the suggestive material because at the time in the 40s, you couldn't put some of the things that were in the book on screen, including Rebecca's death had to be an accident. Was that the case in the book? You said he killed her.
Yeah. It was, definitely intentional. She definitely like goads him. Like she's definitely seeking to be killed.
Yeah.
But it's not accidental.
That was a crazy statement.
It's kind of.
Do you disagree?
I don't, especially with what's revealed at the very end.
She is pushing all of his. She's like just short of putting the gun in his hand. Like it is basically like I think that in my opinion, that's the outcome she was looking for that night.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
and
which Max also says. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Wow.
The way it's written in the movie is that it's sort of a happy accident or like the perfect storm is what ends up killing her, and then he's able to like hit the ground running in this sort of cover up and reclamation of his own life when she dies.
So in the Hitchcock film, he does not kill her.
I don't believe so. Now I'm starting to doubt myself. But I mean, like Jay said, it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Okay, and then she. Okay, yeah.
And that's again, it's just because we lived in such a more conservative time. They couldn't put a man getting away. Specifically, the problem was that he gets off.
Yeah.
They felt it read like an endorsement of marital violence, which I guess
fair.
Yeah. And they also had to downplay some of the relationship between Rebecca and Danvers because I think it's very heavily alluded to that the two of these women were in a relationship of some kind.
Oh, Danvers and Rebecca?
Yeah.
No.
No, neither of you picked up on
that? Like
that?
in a Saphic sense?
Yeah.
No. She was Rebecca's nurse literally from childhood and just has this lifelong devotion to an employer she's cared for presumably 3+ decades.
Okay, so one of the changes is that Danvers in the movie is much younger.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty heavily implied that her and Rebecca were getting it on.
I mean, not off-brand. The would fit in my opinion, in the book seamlessly.
And so they had to downplay some of that relationship because you couldn't have two kissing girls on screen.
Can't be gay, yeah.
Massively successful movie, both critically and commercially. Won Best Picture and Best Cinematography at the Oscars that year with 11 total nominations, and it was one of the year's most profitable movies. I don't have hard numbers because inflation since then is so wacky. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. I did want to throw in here, I wonder if you guys saw this at all in your research. After the film's release, there was a plagiarism claim from an author named Edwina MacDonald, who wrote, it sounded to me like it was a short story that was included in a larger book. And that book was called Blind Windows, and it was about intermarital murder. I just thought it was very interesting because this story is so famous. I had never heard of this claim, which ultimately got thrown out, I believe, in part because Edwina died.
So they just dropped it.
They just were like, well.
Yeah. So she wrote about that in her like author's note.
Okay.
She said, I had never heard of Mrs. MacDonald or her blind windows. The novel was sent to me and I glanced through it. It was nothing like my Rebecca, save for the fact that the man in the book had been married twice.
Yeah, I read a little bit about the story that MacDonald wrote, and it seemed to me like you could maybe make the claim that the stories were similar with a gender reversal. I think it was about a woman killing a guy or something like that. I just thought it was interesting that has kind of gone under the radar. You know, we're so sensitive in 2026 to things like the Michael Jackson movie is unethical because of what he allegedly did. So to have this story have a plagiarism claim and that not really be a part of its legacy was super interesting to me. Another sort of fun fact, the movie opened the first ever Berlin International Film Festival, which is one of the biggest film festivals in the world every year, and is used primarily to launch like prestige films, marketing, but also for awards. So it's just always, I mean, of course it's Hitchcock. So of course it was always, going to be sort of prestige, but it just very much was built into its DNA. This movie rarely streams on major streaming services. I couldn't really find a clear answer why, but several versions are available for free on YouTube and they have like millions of views. So I don't think like Hitchcock's estate has an issue with it or anything. So
are his other films on like Netflix or?
They will stream regularly, like they'll pop around streaming services. It's just kind of strange. I don't know why this is the one that doesn't, but that would be why. I don't know if you looked into trying to find the 40 version.
I did try to find it, but it wasn't on anything. And I did see the YouTube versions, but ran out of time to watch both movies. So
right. Yeah.
went with the one that was more easily accessible.
Yeah. The 1940 version is like, I think a little over 2 hours, which is really long for back then too. So you really feel that slow burn. Then there were two miniseries adaptations, one in 79 on the BBC and one in 97 on PBS. I thought it was kind of interesting. Charles Dance and Diana Rigg from Game of Thrones were both in that show. And Diana Rigg won an Emmy for playing Danvers, I believe. So I did not see those ones. I don't think they are streaming. And then, as we've alluded to a handful of times, in 2020, Netflix released a remake directed by Ben Wheatley. Mostly does B action movies. I have no idea why he was interested in this movie. There's not a ton of literature out there about this movie. I scrolled through, even the Wikipedia page for this movie is sparse. And I sort of decided not to watch it because I was like, the little information on this page is telling me that I'm not going to be very happy watching this movie. And you had said that you were going to watch it. So I was like, check. Stars Lily James, Armie Hammer, obviously rough look, talk about ethics. Yeah.
Pre or post canon?
This was right before. It actually was kind of interesting because Armie Hammer was like really trying to launch himself into like superstardom as an actor right around this time. And I think it was maybe a year later that the cannibalism and rape claims were made, which I also covered extensively as a journalist. And another reason I just can't look at it after all, everything that I wrote and read and learned. I was like,
and it's uncomfortable. Like the couple of scenes where he gets angry, it's like, ooh, I don't like that. That makes me feel bad.
Right. You can't not think about it.
Is he, I presume he plays Max?
I believe so. Yeah. Kristen Scott Thomas and Ann Dowd are in that movie as well. A couple of good actors, but I just couldn't. It got terrible reviews, partly because it's just a remake of a classic, but it sounds like it also thematically didn't understand what the book was going for. Yeah,
it missed a lot of themes for sure.
And it actually performed quite poorly on Netflix as well. It didn't. People were not that interested. I think. I think that because the original doesn't stream, I think it sort of feels like a lost film within Hitchcock's filmography, because he's got some like Vertigo and The Birds and Rear Window are all of these just titanic films that are all over the place all the time. So I can see how a remake of this would trip and fall flat on its face, even if it was a good movie, just because it sort of gets buried in Hitchcock's filmography. But that's all I've got. I wanted to move quickly because the movies are so famous and so accessible on YouTube. I would encourage anybody listening to check out the 1941. Should we move into some DQs?
Yeah, can we? Well, since you watched the Netflix one, besides the glaring issues you've already discussed, was there anything else that you were like, why?
Yeah, so the characterization of the protagonist is completely different. Like she's basically, I don't want to say inept in the book, but she has no agency whatsoever.
Yes.
Right.
And she constantly tiptoes around. Like she won't even say Rebecca's name. She doesn't want to know about Rebecca. And she's constantly like, how'd your wife die? Do you want to talk about your wife? And it's
Oh no,
crazy. Like it completely ruins, because it's kind of like what you were saying earlier, Chris, about like you don't want to like there's certain things you just can't voice because it's almost like manifesting its ghost.
Like breathes
And I
life
think
into
that
it. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that she's so afraid of thinking about, in the book, she's so afraid of thinking about Rebecca as this living, breathing person that she doesn't even want to say her name or look at the R or see her signature. And in the book, she's constantly just like, how'd she die? You want to tell me about her? What's going on?
It sounds like it's the 2020fication of if there's sex and there's color. The movie's in black and white, the original. So if they switch the dress to red, it seems very much like,
I think I've been thinking about this. It's kind of like in the, not to invoke this, but like in the Harry Potter movies, a lot of the criticism of particularly Hermione and Ron's characterization is that Ron turns into this clumsy, never solves any problems. And anytime he solves something in the book, it gets passed to Hermione in the movies. It kind of felt like we can't have this like totally weak character with no agency. And so they wrote in a lot of like positive characteristics for her so that she has more agency throughout the movie, which I think just kind of spoils like things as it goes along.
Right.
I also think that and pros and cons to this, but like the age gap is as prevalent in the movie. They seem much closer in age. And there's far less kind of classist or classism themes. It's far less like fish out of water than the book is, which I think kind of spoils some of that as well.
Yeah, it's like a total misunderstanding of the I think this is a strongly feminist movie and story because she's so intentionally written as a agency-less character. I think it's probably some commentary on Du Maurier's part.
Yeah.
And it seems like they misunderstood that sort of nuanced approach to feminism, feminist storytelling for this 2020 version.
I mean, she's certainly not, to my reading, she was not presenting this as I condone this. It was, this is the bleak reality we live in.
This is what happens.
And I could very much see a true retelling now being reprimanded for, well, you can't treat women that way.
Misunderstanding what the story was trying to do.
For sure, but it does miss the point.
Yeah.
Two other notes. I just because I love this book so much that this is one of those like a very classic adaptation of like it didn't do what I wanted to from the book. I very much am into that, but a lot of the subtext, particularly around like the haunting, is just turned to straight text in the movie. There's one line where Mrs. Van Hopper, when they're still in Monty, she's like, her ghost still walks around that estate. And then the protagonist goes, I don't believe in ghosts, and storms out of the room. And it's just like, you're missing so much of the point here.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's really bad. And then the other thing that I don't think the movie did well is that it's really hard to root for Maxim and our protagonist by the end of the movie, because I think the movie does a really good job characterizing Rebecca on both sides. It doesn't play up enough that everybody loved her and that she was beloved and beautiful. And it also did not do the turn very well about like her more insidious characteristics. So you kind of are like watching them get away 100%. You kind of watch them get away with murder and you feel bad about it.
Yeah, I can
which
see that.
again you kind of
No.
miss.
Right.
No.
Right. Again, it seems like they were afraid to have like a flawed woman on screen because they're afraid to
Yep.
be accused
Like
of.
offend someone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
to tell this story, having not seen any film versions, to tell this story properly in my mind, you first and foremost need to lean into a lot of discomfort.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
this
yeah.
is just the coward's way out at every one of those points.
Mhm.
Like even from the start, them starting as a happy marriage derails like so much of the
Yeah.
storyline.
Mhm.
What
I
on
completely agree.
earth?
And it's little changes too, like so in the book when they're going to tell Mrs. Van Hopper that protagonist is leaving and getting married. In the book, only Maxim goes in the room to talk
At
to
her
her.
request.
Yep, at her request. But she feels uncomfortable, like I thought we would be like excitedly sharing this news to people.
Mhm.
In the Netflix movie, they both go in together. And like Mrs. Van Hopper is like, oh my God, this is great news.
No.
So good for you. And again, it just, yeah, it starts off, the marriage is too happy. It misses that she is alone and coming up with these stories in her head because she has nobody to talk to. It misses, I think, it just misses the boat
Yeah.
on a lot of these fronts.
What a colossal fuck up. I
It
mean,
sounds like a different
Yeah.
story, honestly.
Yeah. I completely agree. It just, yeah, it almost makes me angry, like again, because it missed so much of the point and tried to lean into like the ghost story aspect without really earning
Yeah.
kind of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need someone
Yeah.
to watch the Netflix one. Like I'm curious.
You
This
did.
no.
Oh.
Shh. We need someone to watch the Netflix one that has not read the book. Like I want to know if it's
Yeah.
even a decent film
Oh, regardless of the
on its
base
own.
text.
Yes,
Yeah.
like thinking of it not even as an adaptation, but just is it a good story? Because every bit of that's truly a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. They did make, I will say, the one thing I liked is the movie does, or I'm sorry, the book hits you over the head on a lot of things. Particularly the ending, I think it simplified some of the like complicated legal aspects
Mm.
because the book just kind of goes on and like
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
constantly being, and I think it did okay in that aspect. That's about the only thing I enjoyed. But again, it didn't stick the landing because you're not really rooting for Maxim
Right.
to get away with it.
Yeah. You're like, he should go to jail.
He killed a lady.
And especially since it's Army Hammer, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't
Straight to
like
jail.
this
Lock
guy.
him up.
And believe it or not, straight to jail.
Straight to jail. I did too. I think you made a good point there, Jay. Virtually undoubtedly the last two chapters of the book could and should have just been one. Arguably could have just done without the last chapter altogether. That was like maybe
Yeah, what do
my
you mean by
mind.
that? Which
When it just like goes astray and then they're going back to Manderley.
Oh yeah.
It did nothing. It didn't. I don't know. It was a weird addition. That was in my mind like truly the only misstep on Madame du Maurier's part.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying for sure. I think it kind of bookends just because the start of the book is so dreamy and so slow and so stream of consciousness. You know, because the epilogue, she actually wrote that first and then put it at the start of the book. So she actually started with
Ah,
the characters like all of the bad stuff has already happened. She had these fully formed characters in their kind of post situational
Yeah.
interesting.
bliss, you know? And then that got, so I really liked the slow, and I loved it actually a lot more on my reread. I did not like it on the first read, but like the way it starts, they're already kind of in exile, and
Uh-huh.
it's slowly kind of it's like mists, like slowly shifting to Monte Carlo, but she's still kind of in the future. So I think the ending of the book kind of works as a bookend to kind of how that stream of consciousness worked at the
Okay.
start.
Okay.
And that's my only, and then it ties together because then Manderley burns down. And so you know how they got to where they started,
Uh-huh.
type of thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay. I like that. I changed my mind. I'm convinced.
Well, we already answered all of the questions
I know.
Chris and I wrote down, actually. Do you have some additional discussion questions?
I do have some questions I would love to
Yeah.
talk about.
Let's hear it.
First of all, are you a subtitles guy? Were you able to watch the Hitchcock movie with subtitles?
I am a subtitles guy. I had to turn them off on this one because it's like YouTube's subtitles are
Yeah.
not great. The way
Correct.
Netflix actually will upload a transcription, and YouTube is probably like AI or something. So I had to
Yeah,
turn
that
them
makes
off
sense.
for this one.
I was really interested, and we've already talked about this. I was super interested how the movies would handle her name.
Yeah.
And I think that actually I didn't notice it when watching the Netflix movie that
Mhm.
like just nobody ever addresses her.
Yeah.
But one thing I thought, the subtitles, when they're in Monte Carlo, when she speaks and it says like who's
Oh,
speaking,
yeah.
she was listed as Mademoiselle.
Oh,
And then after she gets married, she's listed as Mrs. De Winter.
Interesting.
So I thought that was actually a fairly elegant way of like dancing around
yeah, totally.
her name.
She is credited in the 1940 version, at least, as Mrs. De Winter in the credits, just because they have to have something to write.
Uh-huh.
Let me see what it says.
So one is
2020
just
version.
Rebecca and the other is Mrs. De Winter?
Well, Rebecca never speaks.
No, but I'm saying in the credits.
Yeah, there is no Rebecca.
Yeah, this is a great segue.
What?
I was so curious. There's no flashback scenes that ever show Rebecca, so there is nobody that's ever been cast. Well, I guess I don't know how the miniseries go, but there is no Rebecca. It's completely for your mind to just create this image of this person, much like our protagonist has created this image of this person.
It's one of the reasons that I say it's not super Hitchcocky, because there's so much talking. There's like all of the exposition, for example, at the end when he's explaining why she's dead and why he ran with it. Maxim is just telling his wife what happened. And it's
so no flashback, no murder scene, no him and Rebecca.
No.
Wow.
Do you guys have an image? Like, who would you cast as Rebecca right now if you had somebody?
Who's the lady in that movie?
If we were making a movie in 2026?
Yep.
Rebecca, I think it would be cool if you could like flip an image, that if we have an image of somebody like Kate Hudson is like a rom-com queen, everybody is sort of endeared to Kate Hudson.
I don't know
if she could, well, Google her. If we could like flip that on its head,
This is this is what I was trying to find the cover of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This is who I was going to say.
Oh,
this is Kate Hudson?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's funny.
Just because I think it would be, first of all, she's stunningly beautiful, and that's got to be the thing, right? If you're casting Rebecca, she's got to be like jaw-dropping. And I just think Kate has Glee as one of her credits.
So funny.
And I think it just would be cool to flip that image on its head that we have of Kate Hudson.
Yep.
As opposed to somebody like...
I was going to say, she looks a little too like Kind and Happy in my mind. Okay.
Well, maybe.
So here's my hot take, and I would love to see this person do this role.
Let's hear it.
And this is a theme for the pod and for the year.
Oh, no.
Anne Hathaway.
Ooh, yes!
She would be really
Imagine.
She would be
because... Good. Like, and especially if you were building the movie around more flashbacks, like she would do everybody's fallen in love with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just haunting.
She's stunningly beautiful.
Yep.
Like in the book, she's tall, slim, like all brown hair.
Yeah. Imposing.
I would love to see her do evil, conniving.
Yeah.
I think that would be... I'm getting chills thinking
I'm
about
aroused.
I'm so glad you said that, not just because it aligns with the podcast. Did you say you're aroused?
I did indeed.
Come on. But because after I said Kate Hudson out loud, it went through my head that Anne Hathaway is the better choice.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see that movie.
Yeah. Additional option. Who's the lady?
This is gonna be bad.
I don't know why I'm looking it up. You'll just know. The witch from the modern Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe.
Oh, Tilda Swinton?
Yes, but dressed as the witch from Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe. And then doing all of the Rebecca flashbacks.
Come on.
No. The crazy white makeup.
She's supposed to be like ugly in those movies. It's not. That's not. Sorry, Chris. He
everybody
suggests
loves
Tilda
her at the
Swinton
party.
anytime. Yeah.
Oh, I know. This
Yeah.
is my favorite part of the podcast is because Chris's actor knowledge is exclusively
Yeah.
like BBC miniseries from 1990.
Yeah. Chris.
It's just
Just
no,
her as
it's just
Rebecca.
not
Full crown and everything.
For those that are listening, Chris
hilarious.
just held up his computer screen to the camera on a Google image search of Tilda Swinton Lion Witch wardrobe.
It did exactly what I wanted.
This is how you know we're an hour and a half into the pod, because Chris is losing it.
Yep.
Man, Anne
My
Hathaway
other-
was
She has
fun.
dreads.
Yeah. Well, actually, wait. Also, counterpoint: Anne Hathaway would be phenomenal as the protagonist.
I think that she wouldn't be. She's not like awkward and mousy
Yeah,
enough.
she's
You know,
too
like that's the
strong.
thing. Is
Did you watch the first half of the first Devil Wears Prada?
20 years ago? Yeah.
No, I watched it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that-
she is
that was
that's a
Anne Hathaway
definition
20
of
years
mousy.
ago.
The first half of Princess Diaries. She has a
Yeah.
precedent
You're talking
set.
about when she was a teenager.
No, but she has a precedent set already in her body of work of doing exactly what the protagonist in this book does.
I'm compelled by this argument. She's too beautiful.
But then at the turn, suddenly she takes her glasses off, and now you're like, wait, she's pretty?
Whoa. I think I wrote down Ella Hunt would be a perfect protagonist.
I don't know if I know who Ella Hunt
Look her
is. Oh,
The lady from Les Mis?
oddly in Les Mis with Anne Hathaway.
I forgot she was in Les Mis.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
she could do it.
I don't know her, her acting style or anything well enough, but I can see it visually.
I agree.
I really enjoyed her. She was in Dickinson opposite Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, yeah, I know. A lot of
And she
people really like that
played.
show.
Yeah, I mean it's worth a watch. I put in quotes. It's fine. But she plays Susan. So like, I forget who she was. The person that it's theorized that Emily Dickinson had a relationship with.
Oh,
Married
okay.
her brother.
Oh.
But I think she could do that like awkward. I don't know. I think it would work.
Yeah.
And then for Max, I want to see Bobby. I don't know how to say his last name. Cannavale.
Bobby Cannavale. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. CANN. Oh, there you go.
And I don't want him doing a British accent. I want it to be
slimy.
American Italian.
I like his sort of slimy vibe. Yeah, you're right.
Perfect. Just sitting at lunch, getting ready to propose to this girl, but totally flat affect. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
it would be
phenomenal.
perfect.
Yeah, that's a good.
Interesting.
And then while we're stunt casting,
yep.
Oh my god, why am I blanking on her name? Oh my god, this is gonna be so embarrassing. From White Lotus.
Jennifer
For
Coolidge.
Mrs. Van Hopper.
Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge.
Yes.
Jennifer Coolidge for Mrs. Van Hopper.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which actually led me to thinking you could do the whole Monte Carlo scene as one of the B plots in a White Lotus season.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could do just like some of the stuff.
It would not
just White Lotus Monte Carlo.
Yeah, it would not surprise me whatsoever if her character in season 2 of the White Lotus, once she got rich and had an assistant, by the way, it would not surprise me if Van Hopper was an inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would I hold
Very
on?
similar.
You, Jarrett, you blazed 2 through fast. So we did Rebecca. Wait, did you say one for protagonist?
No. I don't know if I could come up with one. Honestly, I think that the protagonist, Joan Fontaine in the 1940s, this was like her breakout role that made her a star. And I think that works out really well because we're too familiar with somebody. So actually, Ella Hunt would be great for that because she's not a huge star.
Yeah.
I think since we're in a fictional wonderland anyway, I think in a film more focused on really drawing out and examining, those last 48 hours or so.
Yeah.
Wide Eyes. Queen's Gambit.
Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, the turn of
so rude.
innocent, naive to like if you truly leaned into the joy, the oh wait, this marriage will work because you murdered your wife, I think she would do that brilliantly.
She's pretty good at Twisted, but she's a little bit too visually striking, I think.
Agreed.
Like she's really got a look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's very beautiful, but I mean, she doesn't look like anybody.
Would not say mousy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a good one for the protagonist.
That's why I'm saying it needs to be somebody. I think Ella Hunt's a good pull. It's got to be somebody that we don't have a huge relationship to.
Yeah.
As like a star.
Max feels very interesting to me. I would enjoy. Okay. What is the term? Humor me here. Sticking with the he's 47, he's 2 times her age, and that's a problem. Ron Perlman.
You love that guy. He's like
Perlman.
Just sitting there.
He knows 2 actors, Anne Hathaway and Ron Perlman.
Not wrong. Hey, I have not suggested Dame Judi Dench for any of these roles yet.
Yeah.
Who would be a phenomenal
Danvers.
Yes, who would be a phenomenal Danvers? Okay, Ron Perlman, but they don't anglicize him at all. He is like from Florida, has this estate, still has the weird cigar in his mouth from Sons of Anarchy. And then, I drove a spike through the bottom of the boat because she cheated on me. So what?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Leo could work in this role very well. Actually.
Unfortunately,
he's like, especially now he's the right age, but I think he could pull off like a moneyed, but there's just like something, he's a little slimy these days. Like, I think it could work.
Already associated with ships sinking.
Great point.
That was him in Titanic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It just took me a minute.
Yep.
But yes, you're correct. I'm trying to look at guys that are in that age range, and I'm just not. Oh, Clive Owen's okay, actually, because he like feels like an old money type guy.
But it has to be. I think the brilliance of this character as like a dynamic individual is they need to be, for this story to work. And I'm just appalled at everything you've described of the Netflix version. This Max needs to convince you more or less that it is not only justifiable, but like okay and even laudable that he killed his wife. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, Cannavale's a good pick because he's very famous for playing gangsters.
Cannavale would be perfect.
Yeah.
It would maybe, I mean, he's a great guy. He talk about Nepo babies. He's like, he was married to Lena Horne's kid for a while.
I don't know who Lena Horne is. And my computer just died. Let me look it up.
Actually, I don't know.
She was a jazz singer and an actress.
I or L-E?
Lena. Horn with an E. Anyway, yeah, I think Cannavale's good. Also, Ray Fiennes, maybe.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
You could use that Voldemort image.
Yeah, bring some of that Red Dragon energy. What about Red Dragon, the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, starring Ray Fiennes? Okay. Wait, have you not seen it? Have I seen a movie that you haven't seen?
No, I haven't, and it probably has a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I love this for me. This is a big
Chris's favorite movie of 2021.
Okay. I'm not entirely convinced myself, but Cillian Murphy. Sitting there smoking one cigarette after another.
Maybe. He's always so introspective, although that could work.
100%.
But I don't know that Maxim is introspective so much as he's just like, this word means something different, but he's closed off. I was going to say closeted, but I don't know.
Oh, no, not that.
Yeah.
No, but he's closed off because he's being introspective. Because that's the brilliance of the reveal. You're sitting here viewing this 3-week charade. I've never said it that way in my life. Charade in Monte Carlo. And you're like, why is he being such a dick to her? Because in his mind, he is replaying the fact that he murdered Rebecca and he's still worried someone's going to find out. He didn't bury the body deep enough.
Maybe. I just think that he has this quality of like, he's constantly stepped on.
Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, he's never the winner. And Maxim, it comes from old money.
Okay.
He's got to be a upright, broad shoulder.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
I mean, even in Oppenheimer, he was like, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I see.
But I don't think that's as bad a pick as some of the other things you've mentioned.
As Dame Judi Dench as Maxim?
If it's between Ron Perlman and
I don't know that many people's names, okay?
I know, that's why this is always the best part of the podcast.
Danvers would be a really fun one to see a better casting. I'm saying the casting in a better version of.
Yeah, somebody really
Yeah.
campy, like Aubrey Plaza or something would even be fun.
Tim
just
Curry.
because. Okay.
Tim Curry as Danvers in The Little French Maid Cop.
Fine, you know what? Gender swap the whole movie. Let's just
The
go.
whole thing. No, not the whole thing. Just that role.
I don't think he can even speak anymore, Chris.
Tim Curry?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
had a
that's
couple of
too bad.
strokes.
Maybe would serve him well in this role.
I'm so glad you're not a casting director. What did you?
People
how
are
many stars
going
did
to
you give
pay
the
me
book
big
on
money. Guys, I've got a
Goodreads?
career ahead of me.
That's a great pivot. Yeah, let's talk about
This. I feel a little guilty about it, which is crazy. This woman's long dead. I have a justifiable explanation in my mind of all three options, 3, 4, or 5.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Because I can see a reread being very satisfying.
Yeah, that's actually
Mhm.
something I said before we started recording, is knowing that Jay was rereading. I was like, I bet you everything comes out.
Yeah.
It's like wringing out a towel.
Yeah.
You know it's all coming.
Yeah.
I've not convinced myself that I do intend to reread it. So for me, firmly a 4.
Okay.
Fantastic storyline. I see why the pacing is the way it is. I think an editor could have helped her a little bit more. I mean, I'm sure she had an editor. I'm saying the editor could have
done more.
Yeah.
How about you, Jay?
It was a 5. Honestly, both times for me. I think I was so surprised at how good it was when I read it the first time.
Yeah.
It was such just a wonderful just treat, I think. Just because I was expecting, I see why it's a classic, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
And then to have it be for me was just so surprising.
Yeah.
So it was a 5-star.
That's great.
Read both times for me.
What about the movie?
For sure.
Yeah, that 2020 movie.
Oh, I mean, there are some, Lily James is great, but other than that, it doesn't have a lot going for it.
Sure.
So I don't know, 2. I don't recommend, it's not worth it.
Yeah. I think I would give the 1940 version a 4 as well. I do think it's a standout in Hitchcock's filmography, maybe for not the wrong reasons, but like I said, it's this weird inversion of what
very
he
not him.
does.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, and because of maybe some of that behind the scenes tension over the script, I think you can pick up on some of those flaws. Like, I don't think, for a master of tension, I was like, why is she so freaked out by the what's it called, like letterhead or whatever?
Oh, when she finds the monogram.
Right. I was like, you're in the dead lady's house, like you're going to find these things. And that's not a very Hitchcockian way to think about, like, that really should have jolted me a little bit more, but everything else is so perfect that I still want to give it a 4. I mean, it's a great movie. I just, considering we're talking about one of the greatest directors ever, I'm like, you missed a couple shots.
Yeah. And there's a lot of material there for him in particular. As you described it, I just got a vivid image. Jay, you remember the part when she first looks around and kind of has the conversation back to herself, when she Max tells her he wants to go out for a walk. She says she doesn't have a raincoat, so he goes, Frith, go get one of the Macintoshes from the closet. And she's like, this is her coat. Now I know exactly what size her body was. This is her handkerchief with some lipstick.
Yeah.
It's verging on macabre.
Yeah.
This description of, and those are her letters in the pigeonholes, and this is her blotter on her desk that I'm using, and to me, that should be a masterful Hitchcock scene of no talking at all, looking around, and just so clearly having this horrifying realization.
Mm-hmm.
That would work brilliantly on screen. I'm surprised he skipped it.
It seems to me like maybe he struggled with her internal monologue and that stream of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like narration in movies, so I'm not advocating for that here, but I do wonder, like I said, when she found Rebecca's letterhead, and she jumps out of her seat, and I was like, Well, yeah, she just died. Like, you're gonna find her stuff in the house. Like that. It wasn't. That tension wasn't there, except in the score is really what told me of the movie. Is really what told me, like, okay, I'm supposed to be unsettled.
Yes.
Maybe I'm looking at this too 2026, where I'm like, yeah, like I find stuff,
no, but that's unexpected stuff all the time. That's
right.
not the surprise that she's finding it. The surprise is supposed to be that.
Well, the surprise is kind of her obsession. Like, up to this point, she is like, I mean, in the book, she is ruminating on this constantly. Like, all she can think about is Rebecca and how much Max loved her and all that sort of stuff. So it's just these little moments. Like, there's the signature in the poetry book.
Oh.
So, like, she also has that setup of, like, she's already seen the R.
Yeah.
How, like, Rebecca writes it. Now it's on the letter, so
it's
just, I think the book does a really good job about, like, she is obsessing over this woman.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. In the movie, it definitely feels less like she's obsessing and more like it's almost being imposed, which I think you could, it sounds like maybe you could argue that that's certainly the case.
This is a both and. Yeah.
But I don't know that.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, I feel like the character that I know, if she could wave a magic wand and everyone stops talking about Rebecca and the pictures are gone, she would do it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like maybe that's different. The book version.
No, I think she would. I think that's
okay.
I think that's right.
I think a TLDR.
Because she wants to be Maxim's, like, only. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Well, that tension is what makes it. That's what causes the moral quandary of he just admitted to murder and we are happy for him. It's that tension of her realization, he never loved her. And you cannot have that tension without much initial implication of how much he loved her, how great she was. You need that first.
Yeah. Well, then I'd be interested to think you should watch it, Jay, and let us know what you think.
It's definitely going on the list. I was sad I didn't get to watch it before we recorded because I really want to see how he handles some of that stuff.
And some of the versions on YouTube, by the way, are actually really decent formats. There's some that are really shitty and, like, blurry. But the one I found I think it was just the first search result, was pretty crystal clear and looked and sounded good.
Nice.
And so if you can, like, put YouTube on the TV or whatever. And on that note, I would recommend, as long as you like Hitchcock, I think that's probably the gateway into this for recommendations. My recommendations. I think you'd like it, but you need to have an understanding of Hitchcock to enjoy it, because it is long and it's an old black and white movie. I can see a lot of people feeling very bored with the movie until the last 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it reminded me a little bit of Gone Girl too, where you're kind of like, what's happening?
As it should be.
Yeah.
But okay,
those are my recommendations.
Well, follow that thought. Who would you recommend this to?
Hitchcock fans. Yeah, okay. I think, unfortunately, I think the 2020 movie is encapsulating exactly what I'm trying to talk about. In 2026, we don't consume stories, especially movies, visual stories, the same way that we used to. So this movie was extremely popular in 1940. I think they would say it's dreadfully boring if somebody that was not a cinephile and understood how Hitchcock tells stories, or maybe you had read the book, since you guys know that it's that sort of slow burn.
Yeah, you're prepared for it. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
But it's not like a blanket recommendation like so many other Hitchcock movies, like Vertigo and Rear Window. I'm like, everybody.
Okay.
But this one, I'm like, I think you should understand.
You need some preface.
Hitchcockian storytelling, or maybe you've read the book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Jarrett, what about the Netflix movie?
Jarrett. Is that what Jay is short for?
Yeah. Sorry, that's my real name.
Whoa, I never knew that. I thought you were just being a jerk.
And this is the turn of the episode. Also, Jay killed a guy.
Okay. Noted.
I don't think I'd recommend the Netflix. I mean, maybe if you could, like, I think if it was cast differently, you could maybe forgive, like, kind of a shitty movie.
Was the casting director.
If Tim Curry was Danvers,
you'd be like, "Whoa, this is a train wreck."
Yeah. I mean, no, it's just really, like, Armie Hammer is so hard to get around. Yeah. Like, you just can't, like, bypass that and, like, shut that part of your brain off. And then it doesn't pay off because the movie itself isn't that good. You could, take a gummy and watch the movie and maybe have a fine time, but I don't recommend it.
Okay. So, how about the book?
Yeah.
The book, I mean, I feel like Chris talks about this all the time. Classics are hard. I think, for recommendations.
Okay.
Because you have to recommend it to somebody who like already, I think, has a baseline in classics and has the capability to kind of get through, particularly a slow start.
Yeah.
Like to kind of power through the slow start a little bit. That being said, I think that the book pays off so well, and it's worth a read if
Okay.
you know that you can kind of get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Well, that was a great discussion.
Yeah.
That might be our longest discussion,
Oh, undoubtedly.
except about maybe cats.
Hold on, I'm going to do recommendations.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Jeez. What Jay said. So that was the episode. No, okay. What's interesting here, had I read it, you are absolutely not the person I would have thought of. So it's so fascinating to me that you're the one who recommended it to me.
That's cool, though.
The other person that was like vocally excited that I was reading it was Brett Shand, who also would be penultimate to you on the list of people I would think would not enjoy it. So this one's
a trend here.
It's a bit of an enigma.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Classics, tough. I would have a hard time suggesting it to someone who's like, I'm going to get more into reading as a hobby. Like, great, here's Rebecca. I don't know that
I can
would be
see
fruitful.
how that would be hard.
I think it would be this line of people now, people that I already know are into reading and who would perhaps ignore this title because it is outside of their normal wheelhouse. I think I would give the impassioned plea of slow burn at the start. It's worth the wait. Try it.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting that we've all three landed on the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to recommend without prior knowledge.
Yeah. Yes.
Interesting. Weird story, but I mean,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Masterful.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Amazing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jay, and thank you all for listening to this conversation. This was so fun. We should do another Hitchcock. Maybe you're our resident Hitchcock adaptation guy.
We could do that.
Did he do One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No.
Was that Kubrick?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll find one.
Was it Kubrick? I don't know. But yeah, we'd love to have you back.
Yeah.
This was great.
I've been meaning to watch Rear Window for the longest time. So if there's a book that was based off of,
I'll check it out.
I only know it from the memes, so it's been on the list for a long time.
Yeah, that one's it is memeable, but it's really good. Talk about a thriller. Next up, we have an American, like I said, I believe an American author, Sapphire, and her novel Push, which was, of course, adapted into the film colloquially known as Precious, but it's actually called Precious based on Push by Sapphire.
That sucks. Okay,
cool. The movie. So we look forward to talking about that. We look forward to having Jay back. And thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.